my phone just decided it was going to crash. It didn't overheat. It didn't give up. I don't know if it had a stroke or what it did, but it just went away. Anyway, I was in the midst of talking about the day I had. Woke up today, warmed up. Look at that cat. We're going to talk about him in a minute. Who he is, what he's doing. We had to school 2 horses today, crew chief and sailor. School today. A number of horses raced last night, racing today. I gave everybody either a video update or I sent out a couple of texts last night. I know James was a little disappointed, honestly, with Grace. I was happy with her. I had to remind him that her blood work was screwed up for when she had that little bout of colic 10 days ago. They don't rectify overnight, right? That's the thing. So 56 in a piece, last quarter 28, good mile for Grace coming into the stake season. Plus she gets to race in the numbers of 2 again. So I certainly wasn't upset with Grace, and I found out after she lost a shoe at some point in the mile. James didn't even see it come off. Cindy brought it to my attention after they scoped her. Scope is pretty clean, by the way. Missing a shoe up front. So at some point she lost a shoe also. So looked pretty good. If I was to give any digs for Grace, I thought her hobbles were maybe a hair too tight. Other than that, I thought she was great. Wildo in Hanover, I said that her line looked a little bit better than the race. I thought she should have been a closing in second. Instead, she was a faltering 6th. Now, having said that, she trotted in 55, last quarter 29, coming off the virus. Maybe she wasn't 100% either. Certainly probably wasn't tight. Cut her some slack. What else do we have going last night? Brave World, huge win for him. He looked great, eh? Love the old horse. Love when he's racing good. Harry's got him real good right now, and that's exactly... Harry did the right thing. I told everybody, I'm going to talk to Harry. He had the horse entered in that class before I even had a chance to speak to him about entering him in that class. So Harry's on point right now, and also, it's not that he never was. He always is, but, when the horses are in a bit tough or they get run over a couple of times, it's good to have a discussion. Like with LD's Patrick, I talked to Jason, talked to Tim. Got to get this horse out of here and get him somewhere softer. Found him a good class tomorrow at the Meadow. So all this is rattling around in my head. The staking and final staking payments are done. The staking was extraordinarily high this winter. Had a conversation with a good friend of mine about that. I said, listen, I'm learning now that if we're going to sell any of these horses, they have to be staked or they're not worth even remotely as much. So we're loading the front end of the horses. If we happen to sell them, probably get that back on the back end. Now, the obvious answer to that is, well, if we don't sell them, it's just out there. We're not going to have 7 horses racing the Breeders' Crown. But I don't know which one of any of those 7, if any of them, would race in the Breeders' Crown. That's why the staking is in February, March, and April. So we're through it now. It was high. And as I said, we're learning when we go too as a group. Saw the billing on a couple of horses that was high because of the shipping around. LD's Patrick in particular, shipped down to Ohio. I learned something also. Rather than ship the 4 hours to Miami Valley next year, if we happen to go to those stake races, we will send somebody to Southern Ohio with the horses. Mostly cost effectiveness. It's just not feasible to ship them back. It's too expensive. Now, LD's Patrick had a good month, but still, there's other horses that didn't. So I'm trying to mitigate that, trying to figure out where we're going. Talking to a trainer today about going to Oak Grove. Trying to set something up there. Talking to people about our New Jersey and Pennsylvania breds. Getting the schoolers started, or at least the bug in their ear to get the baby schoolers started next week. Oh, and by the way, we're racing horses too. So enough with that stuff. I want to get to the racing horses part. So, very peculiar. We always run across these oddities. And we had another one today. Look at that cat. Qualified well. Fastest mile of his life. 56 and a piece last quarter. 28 and 2. A rather good qualifier with some tough company. I heard him cough a little bit going on the track. I'm like, oh, maybe he's sick. There was some horses in that barn sick. So I had the veterinarian, John Hennessy, scoped him after the qualifier. He's got an entrapped epiglottis. Has to be operated on. That's not an extensive operation. It is a little invasive. There's some downtime. Mark Beckwith owns Look at That Cat himself. Sent the horse to us. He has Patrick the Piranha and Stonebridge Simba for us. He sent Look at That Cat here. I feel that we have him in a good position. No idea about the entrapment. So he's going to have to go get an operation, which is weird. But the horse was good. I'm sure he'll regain his form and look good because of that. He has to be a better horse, doesn't he? which is impressive enough. There's a horse with 40 grand made, just trotted in 56. Right kind of horse for here. Just got to fix that epiglottis. So the entrapment obviously is, there gets scar tissue and stuff in there, and then it gets lipping, and the horse can't, is top of the, I'm giving you a very rough layment. It's not working properly. How's that? It's not working properly. It's not like a toilet. You can't jiggle the chain. So they have to go in and trim it all up, clean it up, and take a membrane out of there. That's what we had done to the filly, 2-year-old filly we have. Now, we didn't get a chance to test her out afterwards because we turned her out in the field, but nevertheless, same type of situation. So then we went to the schoolers. Sailor was awesome. So I went with Crew Chief. We changed everything on Crew Chief. This is the first week I've got a chance to really look at him. I warmed him up today. We changed everything. Now, you guys don't know about Crew Chief. This is a horse. Again, we have some clients that send us horses from time to time. Steve Palermo sent me Crew Chief. I schooled him in 59, but then he got pacey, he got out of gear, he had a quarter crack, he got sick, his GGT jumped. It was just one thing after another with him. Sailor's GGT jumped also. We got all the pills I was telling you guys about. We got them all in. All the horses are back on them. So took them over here today and schooled them. I didn't know what Crew Chief would do. Went to warm him up. He felt pacey. James said he was very pacey in his qualifier. So I put a ton of weight on him. Only one horse in the last decade in our care has wore as much weight as Crew Chief has on right now. Her name was Spirited Dio, and they were both Trixtons. They both had very similar gaits, both acted very, very similar, and whatever. I just put the weight on him. You know, Dominic looked at me, he says, "This is a lot of weight." He said, "Well, step one, what's rule number one with trotters? Keep them trotting." And Crew Chief had to do his work today. So today was put lots of weight on him, get him around. Let's reassess after the schooler. Halfway down the lane, there's a pacer in front of me. There's a pacer that can't get by me. Going a pretty good mile. Horse comes screaming through the middle. It's Sailor. Blows right past me at the wire, beats me a length. Pull up. James said, "Who'd you have?" I said, "Oh, Crew Chief, bud." He said, "Really? Was he pacey?" I said, "Pretty hard to pace when you got concrete on your feet." I said, "No, he trotted." He goes, 57-2. So Crew Chief won a mile 57-3, maybe 4 if you're being liberal about it. 57-3, 4. Either way, a good mile for a horse. His GGT was twice as high. And okay, remember I told you about the different levels for different blood machines? The level here in Ontario at Costas is 0 to 60. At 60 or around 60, the horses start to feel a bit sluggish. Stay Close is the only horse I've seen in a while that got up higher than that, and it didn't seem to bother him. 83 on race day and raced like a monster the other night. Crew Chief's 122. Looks healthy. Seems fine. 122. That was 10 days ago. So it's down probably below 100, but it can't be anywhere near 60. The problem with that liver count, that level, is it doesn't move fast. We've used the garbage they sell at the tack shop. We've had the vets, try this, try that, run fluids through them, do a million. Nothing works except these pills. And they don't work fast. They just work. I see it on their blood. I saw the levels on Oso Pine and White Tiger last year when they were at Tim's, and we couldn't move them. I saw the horses at Jason's, couldn't move them. I saw the horses here with Harry. We couldn't move them quickly. The only real movement I saw was on these pills. Where are they? I'll tell you exactly what they are. I got a box of them right here. Oh, go ahead. That's what they are, right there. 400 milligrams. This is all natural stuff. It's not illegal. The active ingredient is, gotta be on here somewhere, S-adenosylmethionine. Sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. This right here, best product I've ever seen for liver. So if you're a horseman out there and you have liver issues, if you have a lot of horses, you have some horses with liver issues, that product right there, found it on Amazon. Veterinarian in Ohio told me about it. That's the only product I've ever seen work good on livers. The only one. So, I don't know what Crew Chief's level was today. I don't know. I didn't really, my expectations were low, but I wanted to get a baseline. I wanted to see, where is this horse at? What is he ready to do? What can't he do? I was thinking 59, 2 minutes, pretty good mile. Really, really happy. 57 and a piece, big mile for this horse. So very happy. I wouldn't say it was perfect. All that weight on, I still could feel him shuffle a little bit. I think his front feet hurt him. He had a quarter crack, bad quarter crack left front. But it took all the gear off him, all the boots off him. He had 2 poles on the left. Not really sure he needed them, but they were on there. Horse was perfect today. So I do want to get his blood taken. We'll take it tomorrow, because I want to get a look at, are we going to race this horse next Thursday? Tomorrow we are going to take Crew Chief's blood. So a great day though. Sailor was great. For those of you wondering, I got a couple of emails about Sailor, and I'm really sorry, guys. This is going to happen throughout the summer where I miss horses. If they're not in, if they're not racing, if there's something going on with them, and you're like, hey, why doesn't Anthony ever talk about my horse? I'm really sorry. We have a ton of horses racing right now. If I miss a horse, or you don't feel, or you're not getting the information about the horse you want, just call me. Send me a text message, send me an email, just say, hey, any updates on Sailor? I can give you an update on Sailor. Sailor was awesome this morning. Now, we did have him TQ'd because he's a complete lunatic sometimes. James said, if we could race this horse on TQ, he'd be an open trotter. He said, so hopefully we can get to him, we can get to a position where Sailor can race comfortably, and do well. You, come here, turkey. Addie Bear. Yep. Oh, here, Addie Bear, come here. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Come here.
Hi, everybody.
So that's where we're at today. A beautiful day in Ontario. Everything went right this morning. Everything. No sickness with the babies. They all jogged good on the track. There was no concerns with the vet, with horses going to the vet this week. Yes, we had some vet bills that were probably a little bit higher. Not what I want to see for the 2-year-olds, but these horses are getting set up and ready to rock right now. So everything is going according to plan right now. Good luck to everybody racing tonight. Today is a good day at thestable.ca. We'll talk to you all very soon. Take care.